High yield savings accounts. Let's talk about it. Hey Successful, thank you so much for clicking on this video today. I hope you are doing amazing. Today we are talking about high yield savings accounts, how to use them, and which ones are the best to put your money in today in 2023. So first, what are high yield savings accounts? Well, it's basically a place where you can put your money where you get a return on that money. All right, so it is good to do this because there's inflation and you don't want the money that you have placed and saved and worked so hard for to lose buying power just by having it under your bed or having it in a bank that has no type of return. So it's good to have things like your emergency fund or maybe a sinking fund anytime you're saving money that you want to keep pretty liquid, to put that in a high yield savings account so that even while it's sitting there, it's still getting some type of return. It's not going to be crazy like the stock market returns or maybe another investment that you would have done for a longer period of time. However, because you want to keep this money liquid and you want to keep it cash and you want to be able to access it within a few days if you ever need to, at least it's getting some type of return. Let me give you a quick example so that this makes more sense. So if you have around $1,000 saved, for example, say that's your emergency fund and you want to put it somewhere where you're just saving, regular savings account. A good average for a regular savings account would be like 0.43%, right? And in that year, if you leave that money in that account for that entire year, you would get back $4.30 because the percentage rate, the APY, was 0.43%. Now, if you put that same $1,000 in a high yield savings account, that's for example 4.5%, at the end of the year, you would get $45 additional to your $1,000. If that same $1,000 was in a 5% yield account, at the end of the year, you would get $50 back. So this is just $50 for the entire year. It's not a lot of money, like I said, but it's money that you would not have before if you didn't put it in a high yield savings account. But most of you, I know you guys are great savers and you're probably saving even more than that. So let's say you're saving $5,000. If you put $5,000 in a high yield savings account, at the end of the 1 year period, you would have an additional $250. And as you can imagine, the numbers keep going up. It's great to have an emergency fund, so money that you would need to use in case of an emergency where you can easily access it, but you want to put that money in a place where at least it's growing. So if you never touch that money for the next 3 years, you could possibly gain a good amount of money from that, right? So you definitely want to have your liquid cash in a high yield savings account for that reason. Now let's get into the ones that I personally looked at for my consideration, as well as what I would recommend that you look at. Okay, so what we're going to look at for this list is APY, which is the annual percentage yield, and also what are the perks that come with it. One thing that was very important to me is how high my limit was for transferring in and out of the account, and maybe how fast I was able to get my money if anything happened. But whenever you want to open a high yield savings account, you want to think about what is important to you and search according to those terms. I will have everything that I'm listed here down below in the description box, so make sure you go ahead and check it out. I have some notes here. So the first one I had was the Millie savings account. So this one is really good because it has no monthly fees and it has no minimum deposit and balance requirements. There's ability to separate savings into jars, which is nice. So if you're saving for something specific, you don't have it all in one bucket. You can put it in different jars. And the interest compounds daily, but then it updates in your account monthly. Some cons is that the Millie Bank only offers checkings and savings. So if you looking for kind of a one-stop shop, which I personally wasn't, so this is not a real con for me. But if you want to have like your checkings account, your savings account, and your high yield savings accounts all with one person, they only offer checkings and savings accounts. So I don't know if you want to have credit card with them or whatever the case may be, they don't offer that. They have no online banking. So that means that they operate with just an app. So you can't like go on a website to log in. For me, again, that's fine. And there are no in-person branches. Okay, so their APY is 5.25%, which is really good. Again, no minimums and activity requirements or balance tiers, which is also really good. So every single customer that signs up with Millie, gets 5.25% on return on their money, and that is APY, remember, annual percentage yield. So you're not going to see that 5.25% every single month. It kind of breaks out every single month. So something else that was also very important to me is limits, right? So transfer limits when it comes to how much I want to transfer into my savings account and also out of my savings account, because you don't want to be in that place where you're literally stuck and you cannot get money that you own, right? So for Millie Bank, they're really nice because they don't have any daily limits on the amount of money you can transfer. However, they do have limits for every single transfer. And so these are those limits. So for coming into, so money that you want to bring from an external bank into your Millie account, savings account, there is a limit per transfer of $100,000, which I think is pretty large. And if you needed to make more than that, you can make that second transfer in another transfer, so that's fine. And then for outgoing transfers, you would have to stop at a limit of $10,000 per transfer. However, again, there are no daily limits, so I feel like that's pretty nice. That is Millie Bank at 5.25 APY. The next one I have here is Basque Bank, and their percentage yield is 5.00%, so 5%. So similar to the first one, there are no monthly fees and there are no minimum deposit requirements for this account, and you don't need to maintain a certain balance to earn the interest. So you're good there. They do have fees for outgoing wire transfers. So if you need to make a purchase, a lot of people use wire transfers for big, purchases or even a down payment on a house. So if you have a sinking fund for a down payment or something like that, you do have to pay a small fee for the wire transfer. So keep that in mind. The interest is compounded daily, and you see the reflections in your account every month. There is no live chat support, and there are no in-person branches again. The one caveat to this one is that as a customer, you need to make a deposit within 15 days of the account opening to avoid account closure. So you can't open this account and just kind of forget about it. You're gonna have to go ahead and put in your money within 15 days so that you don't close your account automatically. But that one is also a really great option, and that is Basque Bank at 5% APY. Transfer limits for Basque Bank. With them as well, there are no really hard limits for taking your money out. You can, however, there are limits per transactions. So they do have two tiers, new customers and established customers, and the limits change according to which tier you're in. So for new customers, you can transfer a maximum of $100,000 per transaction and $100,000 per day and $150,000 per month. So there is a limit there. Now, if you are an established customer, you get $150,000 per transaction, $250,000 per day, and $300,000 per month. So those are the limits for online transfers for Basque Bank. So keep that in mind. I think that's still very high of limits, so I wouldn't personally have a worry with what I want to put in my long-term in my emergency fund or my savings accounts, but good to know in case you ever want to put something higher than that in a savings account. All right, so the next one that I did consider was the M1 high yield savings account, and this one has an annual percentage yield of up to 5%. Now this one is only if you are signed up with their M1 Plus membership, and that is $10 a month. If you're not in that membership, I think the percentage yield is much lower than that. So if you do not want to pay a monthly fee, I would not go ahead and do this one at all. Yes, if you are a non-member, you earn 1.5% APY, which for me, I don't think that's worth it because there are other banks that don't even make you pay and you still have a really good return. But let's quickly talk about it because people do really love this one and it is a really great high rated bank. So I thought it was worth to put it in the list. And if you are interested in signing up for their M1 Plus membership, they do have a 3-month trial. This bank is also great because they do have other services like credit cards, checking accounts, savings accounts, to kind of, if you want that one-stop shop. They are FDIC insured up to $5 million, which is really good. They have no minimum deposits or balance requirements. They have a full suite of banking products, like I said earlier, including checking accounts, investing, lending. If you really wanted a one-stop shop, you could do that with this company. Some cons though is that there is a monthly fee if you want to get that higher percentage rate. They do have interest that is compounded monthly and not daily, like some of the other accounts that I showed. It does not support ACH deposits from certain banks. So I think that's a red flag for me because I want to make sure that I can save however possible. But yeah, that's that. And then they also don't have any in-person banks. So M1 is a great savings account to consider if you don't mind paying the $10 monthly fee to get that higher yield. It seems like they have a lot of great perks, but like I said, there are some cons which kind of made, I really wanted this one, but I feel like I didn't want to go forward with it because of all the different cons that they listed. As I said before, there are two tiers: people that do not have the M1 Plus membership who only get 1.25% high yield, and those who do have the membership that get up to 5%. So it's good to know that for users that do have the Active Plus membership, their maximum amount that they can withdraw is $50,000 per day. Now, there is no minimum transfer amount, but for me, this is a no, because if I want to take out $50,000 in that day, because if I want to take out more than $50,000, I want to be able to do that. But again, it depends on what your goals are, how much you plan to save. If it's not up to $50,000, then maybe it's not a problem. Because especially for an emergency savings account, the whole point of it is to be able to use it if there is an emergency within quickness, right? As soon as you can, if you need to. So yes, so if you are a member, you can take out up to $50,000 per day, but then you can do more the next day because there's no amount that you can, they don't kind of stop you at how much you can take off in the month, for example. But if you are not a member, which I would not recommend doing this if you're not gonna be a member because it's only 1.25%, you can only take out $10,000 per day, and there is still no minimum transfer amount. So just keep that in mind as you are doing your research. All right, so the UFB high yield savings account is the next one on the list. Their APY is up to 5.25%, which is great. It comes with an ATM card, which I thought was really cool. There are no monthly fees, there's no minimum deposit requirements. The interest compounds daily and it reflects in your account monthly. There are no in-person branches, and the excess withdrawal fee is $10,000. So their APY is 5.25%, but right now on their website, all the tiers are earning 5.25%. I don't know if they plan on changing that later in the future, but if you sign up right now, you will definitely get the 5.25 because all their tiers have that amount. But good to just keep that in mind that may change if time goes on. I think it's really cool that they give you an ATM card because then you can literally use it to go and withdraw money at any ATM, and they do not charge you any fees for that, which I thought was really good. And this savings account really stood out to me because of that ATM card and the quick cash access if you really need to access your cash quickly. So I would definitely recommend a savings account for the person that really wants their money to be as liquid as possible. All right, so for transfer limits for the UFB high yield savings account. So here we go. You can transfer a max of $250,000 into your UFB high yield savings account at the funding time. And then you can transfer up to $30,000 a day into or out of the UFB account once your account is already funded. And you can transfer a max of $60,000 a month in or out of the UFB account once your account is already funded. As far as the ATM withdrawal limit, it looks like there is around $1,000 max that you can withdraw from an ATM with your UFB high savings account card. So just keep that in mind as well. The next one we're talking about is the Bread Savings High Yield Savings Account. It has an APY of 5.15%. And this is great because there's a really good APY, there's no monthly fees, and there's an unlimited deposit with mobile check deposit and ACH transfers. Some cons though is that there is a $100 minimum opening deposit requirement, which I feel like is not really a con because if you're opening a savings account, you probably already have some amount that you want to deposit, right? There are no in-person branches, and there is no live chat customer support if you're one who really likes that aspect. Then the money is compounded daily and reflected in your account monthly. You are limited to 6 transfer withdrawals per month for this one, and then also you are limited to $10,000 a day withdrawal if you need to withdraw money out of your account. So if you need more than $10,000, you have to do it with multiple days. All right, so I do have some more honorable mentions that I'll list here super quickly, and I'll have all links down below for those of you who are really shopping for a high yield savings account. So first one here is a Citizen Access Savings. Their annual percentage rate is 4.5%, and their minimum deposit requirement is just 1 cent. So they just require you to put something in there when you get started. I'll have the link down below. Next one is a SoFi checking and savings. This one is really popular. Their APY is up to 4.5%. There's no minimum requirement and there's no monthly fee. I'll have the link down below. And then there's also the Synchrony High Yield Savings. It's 4.75% APY, no deposit requirement and no monthly fee. And there is the BMO Auto Online Savings Account. It has an annual percentage yield of 5.10%, no deposit requirement and no monthly fee. So those are some of the ones that I have been looking at to start out my high yield savings accounts. As you guys know, I have been on the debt-free journey, and my main purpose was to pay off my debts for like a good year and a half, and I have finally gotten to the point where I am consumer debt free. I still have a mortgage, but I am consumer debt free. So I do now have a good amount of savings, and I want to put it in a savings account. So that is why I made this video, because I know a lot of people are probably looking for a place where they want to put their money, where it's at least growing a little bit, that they still want to have pretty liquid access to it. So if this video was helpful, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and let me know down below which one are you picking. If you have any other ones that you have considered that are way better than ones I've mentioned here, please let me know down below. I definitely will read about it, because I definitely do want to do a lot of research before I actually go ahead and open my account. But of course, I'll probably make an announcement whenever I do open my account, and I'll have a link for those of you who want to join the one I picked. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, go ahead and give me a big thumbs up. And if you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments down below. I want to hear from you. Let's chat. And if you just want to chat with me, tell me what you thought about this video. I would love to know. Let me know down below in the comments below. All right, you guys, with that said, thank you again, and I will see you guys next time. Remember, you are successful, yes, even now. Bye.